Attention, all stations. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Bonsoir, tout le monde, et bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu, opening the Amateur Radio Exchange Group Net, also known as AREG, for Wednesday, November 27th, 2024. My name is Chuck, and my station is located in East Hamilton. This net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. and ending around 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430 megahertz. And since this is a Simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else. So I stream the net live on YouTube. And so you just put my call into the YouTube search box, and you can find us there live right now or under the title AREG Week 1628, I believe. 1,628 consecutive weeks on the air for the AREG net. So finally, we ask that you please leave a 1 second delay between transmissions to allow others to break in. Are there any time sensitive or mobile stations that would like to check in real quick? Please come now.
Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Romeo Foxtrot Portable.
All right, Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo, Foxtrot, Portable. Vern, you're sounding good tonight. Come on in.
Good evening, Chuck, and everyone else who might be listening. Yeah, just out for a walk, no surprise there. As I stepped out, the temperature was 1. I gather we're heading down to a -1 tonight. And I got to do a little bit of driving tomorrow, so I'm not looking forward to that. We're going to have a mix of snow and rain in the morning, so we'll see how that goes. Back to you, Chuck.
Yes, Vern, absolutely right there. I was just looking at the Weather Network webpage, and it's showing by 9 o'clock. They're saying it will be at 0, and I was taken aback. I didn't think we'd get there by today, but here we are. And so, yeah, a hat and sometimes gloves probably wouldn't be a bad idea, and a scarf. I like scarves now. So, anyways, Vern, you're a solid S9 over here by the Center Mall at Barton and Ottawa Street. So, great job. Sounding good.
Thanks for that, Chuck. I'm literally, I don't know, maybe 250 feet north of Dundas here on Main Street in Waterdown. Just to let folks know, our Santa Claus Parade is coming up this coming Saturday, starting at 6:30. It's always a lot of fun. And they also do Christmas tree lighting down here on the Friday night in the afternoon with some other associated events. Just thought I'd throw that out there, Chuck. Back to you.
All right. So, that's the Waterdown parade.
Yep, Waterdown Santa Claus Parade, Saturday starting at 6:30. And keep in mind there's road closures if you are heading up this way, so you want to get here probably before 6 if you'd like to catch the parade.
Okay, Vern, that's very good advice, considering, like you said, you got to try and find parking and then walk to find a spot and maneuver through the crowds that are gathering. So, very good. Thanks for that, Vern. And I wish it to be a great success. You never know. There might be some white stuff coming down for the parade there, don't you know?
Yeah, that's what I figured. There's a possibility anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I know the surrounding areas are all crying about it because they're supposed to get hit. Of course, in our snow belt towards, I think, London, Kitchener, somewhere around there. And yeah, Kitchener, Waterloo, they always get it. All right, Vern, thanks again, my friend. Anything else before I carry on?
Yeah, nothing else at this time, Chuck. I'll be listening along, and I may be around for round 2. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for picking me up, and as I mentioned, I will be staying tuned.
All right, very good. Vern, thank you for checking in. So we'll clear with VA3CRF, and I'll open up the net to everyone. And I already have VE3BMO as well as VA3AXJ Southside Rick. And so, anyone else that would like to check into our net, please come now. Okay. Okay, kind of quiet at the moment. Let's bring in VE3 BMO. Did you get your pack yet?
Oh, absolutely, Chuck. I've been here for a bit. And, yeah, that was a pretty quiet round.
Yeah. Got more going on with Vern there on his portable out in Waterdown. Geez, that's a good job from Waterdown to my place there. He must be a little bit more elevated than I am.
From where you are? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll be up there quite a bit. And, yeah, I don't really have much to add other than feel better. That's about it. Didn't do any activations, nothing. Finished work at 2:30 and put my feet up and relax.
Oh, yeah, very good. Very good. And so you did go in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't make money sitting here on the stool.
Yeah, you got that right. Oh, look at that. My neighbor's raking up the leaves on my front lawn. What a nice guy.
Well, after he's done, then give him shit.
What are you doing on my property? No, seriously. The family next door to me is an Asian family. Very nice, very nice. Doesn't speak much English, but the kids do, of course. And his property line and mine overlap by about 3 feet. And you wouldn't be able to tell looking at our front lawn. 3 feet of that front lawn belongs to my neighbor. And so I cut the grass. I don't leave that out. I do it all. And so that's his way of thanking me. In the fall, he rakes the leaves up for me, which is very muchly appreciated. What a nice guy.
Absolutely, Chuck. But anyways, I'll let you see if there's anybody else around. VE3 CJZ, VE3 BMO.
All right, there, Pierre. Thanks for your check in. Well, let's bring in Southside Rick, VA3AXJ. Rick, you there?
Yeah, good evening there, Chuck. Little under the weather here. I had
no.
that that bone scan and that blood flow test yesterday. And I'll tell you, I never ever want to have that done again. I had to lay on my back for 40 minutes in this machine, and it just about killed me. But before that, I had to go and get 15 minutes of dye injected me. So maybe I'll start glowing in the dark. I don't know. But anyhow, today was a bad day. Back's just killing me.
Okay. So just the fact that you had to lay down on the machine was painful, or it was what the machine was doing that was painful.
No, it's like a CT scan. You know, I was in bed.
Oh yeah.
You had to lay on there still. You couldn't move. You had to stay absolutely still. And at the end of it, 40 minutes went by. They actually had to help me off of that bed. I couldn't move. I couldn't get up.
I remember years ago they put me in this MRI machine and my shoulders were too wide for it. They had to have me stick one arm up over my head, lying down, and the other, by my side and not move, for however long it takes. And thank God they've made them bigger now. And funny thing is, I've seen recently videos of what a CT scan a machine looks like when it's on, and all the coverings, like the part that you see is got nice shiny white round uh, uh, outer casing, but the machine itself, it spins like a jet engine. It's pretty weird.
Yeah, I know. I've had a lot of those. A lot of those CT scans. I've had MRIs too, but No, I don't think I ever want to do this one again because that was, I'm telling you, it was terrible. But well, I had to get that injection in me at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then they said, okay, you're free to go and eat, drink water, whatever you want to do, and come back at 11:15, and we'll take the images. So I was in the hospital for at least 5 hours before I got back home here. I left here at 8:15. I got back at 12. So yeah, I don't want to do that again.
All right, Rick, I'm with you. Well, you're home now, so sit back, kick back, and relax, my friend. And so we'll get back to you in a little bit there. Do you have anything else?
No, I'm gonna stick around as long as I can. I just took some painkillers, so I don't know how long I'm gonna be up. But if you call me, I'll answer.
All right, very good, Rick. And so going over to our YouTube stream, I see a few people have checked in there. Wade, VA3NCA, and Brian, of course, our new ham, VE3XBW. Welcome back, Brian. And Noel is in there, VE3 Kilo Delta Tango. Hello, Noel. And Omar has joined us, LW8, Delta Papa Lima. Good evening, Omar, and welcome to our live stream on the net here. We're transmitting out of Hamilton, Ontario this evening on a simplex frequency of 146.430. So chat amongst yourselves. I'll check back there. For now, let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly AREG net. Please come now.
Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Tango. V3FA, C India, Mike Whiskey.
Okay, I got Bravo Tango, and then someone doubled with Mac. Please come again. I might have heard VE3FJ something. Is that who it was?
V3FHE, if it's me you're referring to.
Yes, sir. You doubled with someone here. I'm sorry. Can I just get your call once again?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I doubled. Got a walkie here and an antenna situation. But anyway, okay. Victor Echo 3, Foxtrot Hotel Echo. The name is Walt Whiskey Alpha Lima Tango, and I'm in Hamilton.
All right. Walt, VE3 Fox Hotel Echo. That's a pretty neat call sign. I believe you might be a newly licensed ham in the area. Is that correct?
Well, I'm not exactly newly licensed. There's a story behind it if you'd like the story. I was licensed in 1990. Unfortunately, life takes a turn, so you get caught up in other things like in life. So some of your hobbies take a sideline, and this was a hobby that took a sideline for me. I'm kind of getting back into the hobby. So Spectrum issued me a new call, and VE3FHE is me.
That kind of rhymes. Oh, very good, Walt. Yeah, I too went several years without being on the air at all. And so, but that was during my CB days. I've been on since I've been licensed as an amateur. But like I said, many years ago in the 11-meter bands, all the way back to AM. So, anyways, welcome. My name is Chuck. Nice to meet you, Walt. And whereabouts are you? You're full strength over here by the Center Mall.
Well, hi, Chuck. Yeah, I'm not far from you, actually, then. I'm kind of Parkdale and King area.
Okay, yep, just down the road. Very good, very good. Yeah, like I said, I'm picking you up here, full strength, on my Diamond X200. And so welcome to the net. Anything else to add?
No, actually, I was getting concerned that maybe my situation wasn't working for me. I'm glad you came back to me. Appreciate that, and I'll say hi to everybody that's listening, and I'll QRT.
All right, very good. Listen along. Again, thanks for checking in, and we also stream the net on YouTube. If you just put my call in the search there, you can look for us live. Let's move over to Albert, Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Tango.
Hey, good evening, Chuck, and everybody on frequency there. Yeah, I couldn't hear him. I got him in there, but I couldn't make out everything he was saying. Yeah, just a general check in there, Chuck. Nothing really much to report on my end here. We're halfway through the week. That's the key thing right there. Anyways, we'll hand it back over to you. VA3BT.
Yes, that's why they call it Hump Day. 2 more sleeps there, Albert, and but yeah, the weather's not going to cooperate, so that usually ends up equating to a little bit more slower traffic, I think. But wish you all the best. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah, not a problem. I know the traffic's been, I don't know what's going on with this QE, but it seems like it's getting worse. Even like getting off at work at 3 o'clock, 3:30. Like we're leaving work at 3 in traffic. Like I just don't understand. It's like I don't even know what to say anymore. It's just brutal.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, hang in there, my friend. All right, let's move down to Mac, Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey.
Good evening, Charles, and everybody else on frequency. Yeah, it's Hump Day already. Looking forward towards the weekend. The good news in the automotive world is that most of our customers, that is the Americans, have already checked out and they're into their big long weekend. And obviously, we see the same thing with the activity on 40 and 20 meters. The bunch of guys that are headed to camps and cabins and parks and stuff like that, and they're all set to hang out until maybe Monday or Tuesday next week. So the hunting is good. Band conditions could be better, but nonetheless, we'll take what Mother Nature gives us. Quick summary of things coming up. Special interest is the December 21st Eyeball Rag Chew a group activation at Stony Creek Battlefield Park for the 21st of December. So looking forward to seeing everybody down there again. And other than that, just busy with things that are a priority at work. Coming up on some deadlines, so kind of have to bust a hump on a few things. Anyways, Chuck, I'll turn it back to you. I'm here for the duration, and I won't give away any of the birthdays on this day. Back to you. Thanks.
Okay, very good. So before I do a call out, I do have an announcement to make of my own. Thank you, Mac, for your announcement on the upcoming events and such. And this is a little bit of on a somber note. I got a email from John, VE3JSU, the founder of the AREG, who's now up in Northwest Ontario. And it was quite a shocking email. First of all, he mentioned that our North End Richard, VA3 VJC, had been in the hospital, and he had gotten a phone call from Richard's wife saying the doctor doesn't think he's going to make it through the end of the day. And so he told me, he's probably by the time you get this email, he probably will no longer be with us. And so until I made sure that was a fact, I didn't want to relay that information to you guys until I got some more news. And so, like I said, this was on the weekend. Oh, and John mentioned he's no longer living in Manitouwadge. He's living in a motel in Marathon, Ontario. But he moves into a place after the first week of December in Thunder Bay. So he will have his own place there where he's not sharing, an apartment or a house with someone. And so that's news for him. Good for him. And so today I got an email again from John. Let me break. It says, he says, I just got off the phone with Richard. He is still alive. Excuse me. And his wife, Vicky, is sounding better. Richard has been in the hospital for 3 weeks, which, if I recall, I do believe Richard was on the radio about 3 weeks ago with us here on the net. And he goes on to say, it seems the expectation is for him to go home. And they gave me his phone number. So I'll be calling him tomorrow. And then he goes on to mention about his move. December 11th, I think he moves in. So in his new place in Thunder Bay. So that's the update on both John, VE3JSU, and our beloved North End Richard. I'm glad he's pulled through, and I'll be talking to him tomorrow. And so any comments or questions, please come now.
Certainly appreciate you sharing those details with us, Chuck. It was Richard's unique humor that really drew me to this net when I started participating, and unfortunately, with his circumstances recently, haven't been able to hear him directly. But so glad that he's still among us. And time's precious, right? So we enjoy it while we can. Thank you, and back to you.
Nobody here?
This frequency is in use. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu. Are you trying to check into our net? Please come now. Alrighty then. Okay, Mac, very good. I'm glad to share that news, and I'm so glad Richard is on the mend. And once they tell you to go home, well, hopefully it's when you're well enough to do that. I know they don't like to keep people in there for very long. Not anymore. All right, so that takes care of that. Are there any other announcements that anyone would like to make? Please come now. This is VA3CJZ. All right. Well, let's finish up with Mac and see if you have anything else for us.
Nothing really particular of interest to the radio side. As I said, got some deadlines at work that I'm working through. So as the year end approaches, there's a few things that we have to take care of. So it makes things interesting. Deadlines are always fun, right? Doing everything you can not to miss them. And for some of us who work best under pressure, the most efficiency is at the 11th hour. I was just thinking as I drove home tonight, looking at my gas gauge, strangely enough, the last eighth of a tank of gas is where you get your best fuel economy.
Really, eh? I remember them doing tests with cars with the windows up, the windows down, the top down, and they were checking how the mileage was on each of those different scenarios there, and there's a big difference, and the speed too. They did say 55 miles per hour was the most efficient speed to have.
Yeah, there's definitely a drawback to having windows down. It's actually more efficient to have your air conditioning on and windows up. Makes you more aerodynamic, but it's just driver mentality. When you look down at the gas gauge and you think, oh my goodness, I'm just about on empty, that's where you're very, very gingerly using the gas pedal. And as such, instead of having your foot in it like you usually do, you're probably going to get way better fuel economy by being a very gentle driver. Anyways, yep, it was pick up hot chocolate day as well as get gas in the tank day. So a couple of expenditures, but that's what keeps us going, the truck and me. Back to you.
Yeah, very good. Okay, Mac, thank you. So I'm looking at the YouTube stream here, and Brian, our new ham, locally here, VE3XBW, said he had a great fun with Black Friday shopping, and got what he needed for his Go box. So good for you. If anyone else has any comments about their Black Friday shopping experiences, by all means, bring it up. And I see Jeff, VE3NVY, is with us. Good evening, Jeff. Welcome. Enjoy the net. And I'll check back in a little bit. For now, though, let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group.
Victor Echo 3, Zulu Juliet Charlie.
VA3 Whiskey Papa Golf.
VA3 NCA.
Okay, got three more there. Zulu Juliet Charlie, Whiskey Papa Golf, and November Charlie Alpha. Let's bring in Jason, the E3 Zulu Juliet Charlie.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on net. Quick question for you. How am I making it into the net tonight?
Well, you're full strength on my scale here at the Center Mall, and your audio is okay. Sounds a little bit, pinched off maybe, but still it's clear, loud. Is that what you were wondering?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm playing with a new feature. I'm parked my butt on the couch on the HT, doing some crossband repeat upstairs on the rig so that I can watch the hockey game tonight as I listen along. TV's on mute, paying attention to the net. I don't have any traffic for you, per se. Good to hear about North End Richard. My friend, you got to work on the delivery, though. You had me stopped at my tracks there for a minute. Literally, I'm just, jaw dropped, and you transferred over to how John was doing, and then you came back to North End Richard there and said that everything was good. So, yeah, man, delivery's everything. Other than that, no real traffic, just enjoying a lazy Wednesday evening, putting off home chores that I really should be doing, like painting ceilings and walls.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fun stuff, especially when you do that in the colder weather when your windows are usually shut. And as for the delivery, if it would have been really somber news, my delivery would have been better. But because it was good news, I was able to play with it a little. So I think the delivery went great.
Well, I'm sure I'm not the only person that was sitting on the edge of their seat going, what the heck? But I will leave the delivery to you, my friend. I will be here for the duration. Thanks for doing it, Chuck. I'll send it back to you and pick up, I believe, Chris behind me, VE3 ZJC, back to net.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, Jason, by the way, the crossband repeat is working great. And so, I love that feature. So enjoy the rest of your evening, sir, and we'll talk to you again soon. And so we'll clear with VE3 ZJC, and let's say hello to Chris, VA3 WPG.
VA3 WPG, Good evening, everybody. Again, not much radio-wise now that the weather's taking a dump here. Simplex, maybe a little closer to the mic, but I am getting stuff done around the place, just some chores and some general cleaning and stuff, but we'll be listening in on the net. May or may not be in throughout the games this evening, or what do we call it, the trivia might be to and from, but we'll be listening in the background. Other than that, I'm going to get back to what I was doing. Send it back to the net for the time being, VA3, WPG. And I was looking to my side away from the mic again. Anyways, VA3, WPG.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Chris. And by the way, going back to Jason very quickly there, if you want to hear how the audio sounds, anyone actually, if you want to hear how your audio sounds on the air through the radio here, just go to my YouTube stream and log in there and look at the time that you were on. And there's a clock on every camera that I have on the stream. And for example, Jason came in at 27 minutes after, I do believe, or 28. So that'd be a good time to check for his audio. And you can just move that slider bar back and forth at the bottom of the video feed that you get. Again, my call VA3 CJZ, and let's move over to Wade, VA3 NCA.
VA3 CJZ, VA3 NCA. Yeah, good evening, Chuck. Good evening, all on net. Yeah, it's been a bit of a week so far. It's only half over, but I did get a chance to do a little bit of POTA today. Hunting, that is. Just had to have a break, so I found some time to do that, and I got a couple new parks. Nothing big or not a lot of them, but I got on the air, so that was good. Other than that, yeah, there is the slowdown inevitable from the large vacation for our neighbors to the south there. But for us, still have half a week to go, so things are ramping up at work, so getting very busy, and I'm not sure when that's going to slow down. So radio's been taking a bit of a backseat, but definitely happy to be here on Wednesday to do the AREG for sure. So other than that, I'll send it back to you there, Chuck, and I'm definitely listening along for the whole thing via NCA.
All right, very good. Have you had any Black Friday shopping done yet? There's still a couple of days, I think, at least one full day for sure.
Yeah, I've been looking. Haven't really bought anything. I mean, a very, very small thing. I did pick up a little BNC to banana plug adapter that I needed, but that's only a few bucks. But it was a few bucks off as well for Black Friday. I wanted to add it for another option for my POTA antennas, but I really wouldn't call that a Black Friday deal. I'm going to have to see if anything comes up that fits the bill before I pick something. Anyways, yeah, how about you? Anything for the Black Friday sales?
Well, I am always window shopping for deals for Christmas and birthdays. And I got my eye on a couple of things. I wanted to get some bookshelf speakers and possibly a tablet, a cheaper tablet for the wife for Christmas there. But don't tell her.
Yeah. Actually, now that you mention it, a tablet would be good. I wouldn't mind something with a little bit more real estate, screen real estate for POTA activations. I use my phone right now, and that's fine, especially with Polo. It really has efficient use of the screen. But I know I was out with on an activation one time with Bill and a few others, and he had his tablet, and it was spoiling me. It was really nice to have a larger screen. So we'll have to definitely keep an eye open for a good deal on a tablet. Maybe you inspired me there. Back to you.
Yeah, one thing there, Wade, I did read up on this a little bit, and there was an article that mentioned the Black Friday deals are more geared towards the Amazon devices for deals, than most other things. And then we're going to roll straight into Cyber Monday, starting on the 29th, I think, or 30th. Anyways, they're just going to flow from one right into the other. And then, of course, you'll have Christmas deals. So for the whole month of December, and even, this past week here. So basically 5 weeks of deals for shopping. So they really want our money.
Yeah, no, that's a good point too. Yeah, maybe keep an eye open for Cyber Monday as well on the follow up. But the deals tend to often be the case where they they often bring the price up just to bring it down. So sometimes it's a bit of a marketing game, but there are deals to be found if you're patient, I guess.
Yep. And do your research. If the object you're buying only has one review, I would pass. you know, so some of those are shady guys. Like I ordered something that was supposed to be coming in a few days ago, and then it said, "Oh, if it's going to come Wednesday," and it still hasn't shown. It said, "Oh, come back tomorrow, and we'll give you your money back." So something hinky went on with one of the things that I bought. So it happens once in a while.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those types of scams you got to watch. I've heard they've also done things like they sell something and then they switch out once it gets a lot of good feedback, then they substitute out that object or that item with a cheaper one and sell it on the backs of all the reviews. So you got to be careful that the reviews are talking about the item you're considering. Of course, they still have bigger problems with other platforms like AliExpress and such, where I've seen them show the expensive item photo by default, but default you to the lower end item on the purchase thing. So you're brought in by the low price for something that looks like it should be expensive. And if you're not careful, you're going to just get the low price item, and they've still got a sale. So you got to watch that too. But if you're savvy and keep your eyes open, you can usually get some good deals. So good luck on your hunt. I will keep my eyes open. If I see anything good, I'll be sure to tell the community here, so that maybe if anybody else is in need, they can pick one up too. Yeah.
All right, very good, Wade. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Do some research before you get excited and hit the click button there. Make sure it's, you're going to get what you're wanting to get. All right, so we'll clear with Wade. I did hear someone keying up underneath you there a little bit, but no matter. You were coming in great. I think you're like 10 over S9 over here tonight, Wade. Good job. And so let's see who else is up there would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3 CJZ. All right, nothing heard. Let's check out the one contest coming up that's worth of any mention, and that's called the Ham Spirit Contest, and that will be on at 0800 Zulu, November 30th to 0759 Zulu, December 1st. So for 24 hours, but the start time is a little bit weird. It's like 3 in the morning. Anyways, it's for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. And that's for both modes, sideband and CW. Again, the Ham Spirit Contest. There are other quick 1 hour contests, but you can check those out on the website, contestcalendar.com. One word, contestcalendar.com. And with that, again, I'll ask, does anyone else have any announcements, questions or comments, or any check-ins for this week's net? Please come now. This is VA3 CJZ.
Contact.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
VA3 IMW. I can't believe you didn't hear Thomas in there, VE3 Charlie Echo uniform. He's blazing loud and proud, 10 over S9 over here. You might want to take a quick listen and open the squelch or something. I don't know.
Okay, that's quite odd. VE3 Charlie Echo uniform. Tom, come on in.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net there. Thanks, yeah. Matt, for the replay there. Yes, good evening to everyone, and yeah, it's a very, very nice night out there tonight. Just listening along, I just turned the radio on, so hopefully you can hear me there, Chuck.
Yeah, I can hear you quite well there, Tom. Like Max said, you're 20 over, blazing in here from Burlington there. What do you got, some extra ponies?
No, it must just be the antenna location. I don't know, but I'm hearing most everybody tonight there, so yeah, you guys are talking about Black Friday shopping. I haven't really done too much Black Friday shopping at all. I was thinking of going to the States there. My wife told me the exchange, the U.S. exchange is like 144.9. It's like, nah, I think I'm going to keep it in Canada here.
Oh my God, you almost made me swallow my cigarette there, Tom. 44 cents on the dollar. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to stay here in Canada. Anyways, not much else is new at this end there, Chuck. I'm just, I have had my cup of tea there, and I'm just going to be sitting there listening along, and nothing else is new at this end.
Oh, okay. Very good then, Tom. Well, you're doing a super job radio-wise. Oh, there's something I was going to bring up. If you ever talk to the Americans there lately, you'll notice most of them will tell you Happy Thanksgiving. They have no clue that we have ours almost 3 weeks before they do, and so some of those people also think there's snow in the summertime here. So, but I find that funny. Lately, this past week, a lot of the contacts I've made, they all say that Happy Thanksgiving back to you. So, anyways, kind of funny. Thanks, Tom. Do appreciate your check-in, sir. Anything else?
Nothing else at this time there, Mac. I'll let you continue on.
All right, and thank you, Mac, for letting me know Tom was in there. That's unbelievable. I didn't hear him. Yeah, he's blasting in. So I see Debbie has checked in also on the YouTube stream. For those of you just checking in, I do stream the net on YouTube. Just put in VA3CJZ and look for us live. And Debbie, VA3OYL. I'm so sorry to hear you've got a migraine, but thank you so much for checking in on the YouTube stream and just listening. Enjoy the rest of the net. And Brian is asking me, what's that white box sitting on the anvil connected to your mixer board? Yeah, okay, the anvil. That's the camera that I use to stream on YouTube. That's one of the cameras. You'll see another white box on the far right of the shelf there. They're called Wyze Cam. That's WYZE Cam. Look them up. They're on Amazon. I think they're on sale. Good little cameras. And so if I switch camera view, you'll see the picture of the radio there. It's facing right towards the radio, and that is the camera there that you're seeing, showing a close-up of my radio. And if I go back the other way to the other screen, you can see that that's where the camera is facing directly at the radio. Hope that answers your question there, Brian. And thank you, Debbie, for checking in. Here's a picture I just posted on the YouTube stream. It's a picture of the Milky Way taken from Algonquin Park just a few nights ago. Look how clear the picture is of the Milky Way galaxy, with all those stars, no light pollution. And I got to tell you, I love it at Algonquin Park. I've been there many times, and it's been a while now since I've been there, and I miss it. So this really makes me want to head back up there. It's about a 5.5 hour drive. It's about the same time to drive from here to Ottawa to get to Algonquin, and that's only at the southern entrance. That's not the northern entrance. I've been in that one too. Beautiful place. All right. So with that, let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. Please come now.
Victor Echo 3, Kilo Delta Tango.
Oh, Victor Echo 3, Kilo Delta Tango. Noel, come on in.
Hey, Jack, how are you doing tonight? I guess hi to everyone. I already know you're doing well. I just wanted to chime in on some of the Black Friday sales stuff. I ended up having to buy stuff because I misplaced my new 10-watt radio, so had to replace that, and managed to find a 25-watt mobile radio for $50 Canadian on AliExpress.
So you're telling me someone else has your 10-watt radio?
That's right. It's floating around somewhere. Has my call sign programmed into it too, so if you turn one on, and you'll see it. But not sure where I left it. I thought it was in my buddy's car, but I guess not.
And how long ago was this?
2 nights ago, Monday night.
Okay. Well, there's still a chance someone you know may have it. If not, a very nice citizen of Hamilton might find its way to you, I hope. Anyways, but so you opted to get a mobile instead of a handy talkie?
I was. I kind of had the mobile for. I got the nice one here, but I'm kind of leaving it in the shack. I don't want to drive around with it, and I don't do a lot of driving, so it's a lot of transporting it back and forth. So I'd rather just leave it in the shack. And the that other one was a good 10 watt, so I could kind of sit in the living room like what Jason was doing. But I figured now I'll just go for it and have something permanently in my car for when I do drive and when I am putting around that way. And I realize I also have crossband ability, so I can give that a try sometime too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, there you go. And like you said, you don't like, having the big one in the vehicle and that. So I think it's a good idea. And I hope, is it installed yet? No, you haven't got it yet. You got to wait from the slow boat from China.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. I'm taking a chance on it. I hope it at least somewhat performs. I just kind of really only need it to get to the repeaters and stuff. But I figured a little bit extra wattage will make up for the really terrible mobile antenna versus the nice one at my place.
Yeah, absolutely. And is it a dual band?
Yeah, fully VHF, UHF, 25 watt. I can post it in the chat, or I think I can. It is the top walkie-talkie IC-980 Pro on AliExpress.
All right. Well, I wish you success with it. Hopefully it sounds good too, as well as puts out. So very good. Let us all know when you got it, and we can give you some feedback. Thanks for that, Noel. And Do you have anything else before I do another call out?
No, that was it. I will send everything back to you. Yeah, and I hope when I do get it, it's feedback I'm getting and not sending. So, anyways, have a good night. I'll be listening on.
All right, Noel, very good. Thank you. All right, is there anyone else out there wishing to check into our weekly net? Please come now. This is VA3 CJZ.
VA3 NFG.
Hey, the cereal bowl man. VA3 NFG. What are we, shreddies tonight?
I don't know. I had a late supper. The dog and I he's bagged out on the couch. You never know. I don't know. It's 9 o'clock. It's kind of early yet for cereal. But you never know. Maybe around 11 o'clock I might be tempted to have a bowl of shreddies. So anyway, Chuck there, just get check into the net. And on this day coming up in a few minutes from now. So how many check-ins have you got so far?
Well, Steve, I can tell you're moving a little bit there while you're transmitting. First of all, you dropped out a couple of times, but I got most of it. And tonight you are check-in number 15, along with everyone else, as well as the YouTube check-ins there. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. As I bump into the wine rack, probably hear the glasses clanging in the background. I walked into the dining room here. I'm right up at the window that would be facing your direction. So, and there's probably an echo in this empty dining room. I don't know if that enhances my audio or impairs it. But anyway, okay, I missed the number because I was moving into the different room. How many check-ins are there?
Well, I did originally say 15, but in fact it's 16. 1-6 so far.
Well, that's pretty good. You just may hit 20 by the end of the net, or possibly 25. That's probably a couple ticks above average, no?
Yeah, for the longest time, the average was hovering around the 15 check-in mark. So yeah, we're right on the mark.
Oh yeah, right on. Very good. Okay. I'm not sure if Mark is on the YouTube stream or not, but I think he might be listening. So yeah, he's about all ready to write his exam there. He's averaging about 80 between 82 and 80. I think his last one he got 84%. So and I told him nothing less than basic with honors will do. So this is what he's targeting for, and it looks like he's going to make that target. So way to go, Mark. Good for you, and to any other new hands out there that are studying for the exam. Anyways, Chuck, I'll let you put a call out there. You got a couple minutes before the on this day. See if there's any more that you can pick up there. Thanks for doing the net, and we'll be listening to the end there. This is Victor Alpha 3, November, Foxtrot Golf.
All right, Steve. Well, you hit the sweet spot there because you were at about 20 over. Nice, steady signal there. Great job. And thank you for all that information. And yeah, I wish Mark good luck if he's writing it soon or planning on it. And for anyone else, and welcome all the new amateur radio operators to the hobby. It's a lot of fun. There is so much you can do, and just with a little tinkering, you can, make your own antennas and so on. Uh, so that's you don't have to be in advanced for making antennas. All right, thanks, Steve. So we'll clear with VA3 November Fox Golf. Anyone else out there wishing to check into our net, please come now. All right, how about we do some dumb laws in Canada? Dumb laws in Canada Canada has many unusual laws, including painting wooden ladders. It's illegal to paint wooden ladders in Alberta. And I mentioned this next one before, but it's illegal to scare the Queen when she was alive. So you know how old this is. It could result in a 14-year jail sentence if you went boo to the Queen. All right, next. No sirens on bikes. It's illegal to attach a siren to a bike in Sudbury, Ontario. It's also illegal to trick or treat if you're over the age of 16 years old in Bathurst, New Brunswick. And there's no water skiing after sunset. I didn't know this one. It's illegal to water ski after sunset across Canada. Didn't know that. Well, I didn't know any of these, but all right. No duels, no dueling. It's a criminal offense to challenge someone to a duel or accept an invitation to a duel. No more than 3 inches of water in the bathtub. It's illegal to have more than 3 inches of water in your bathtub in Etobicoke. What? And no more than 2 garage sales per year, please. In Toronto, you can have no more than 2 garage sales in a residential area in 1 year. Okay. Sleigh bells, since this is Christmas season upon us. When driving a sleigh, you must have at least 2 bells. 2 sleigh bells. All right. So that's it for the dumb ones. These are weird laws in Canada. Number 1, pet rats, or are they? Did you know that it's illegal to have pet rats in Alberta? In Port Coquitlam, and that's BC, you can keep no more than 4 pet rats at a time. And if they're different sexes, look out. You better separate them, or else, guess what? I used to raise rats when I was younger. Let me tell you, they multiply very fast, and a lot of them. So it makes you wonder what rat-related catastrophe happened for this law to be in place. Just think of the thing I just mentioned about the breeding. It's crazy. All right. No, say no to whistling is number 2. It is illegal to whistle in Petrolia, Ontario. Yes, you read that right. That doesn't mean you'll be chased by a SWAT team while whistling the tune of your favorite song while walking down the street. However, there is an actual law written against it. Article 3772.3.6 on the town's website, stating that yelling, shouting, hooting, whistling, or singing is prohibited at all times. Wow.
May as well just ban listening to music too then if you can't sing VA3 WPG.
Not everyone can sing, and certainly not everyone can whistle, too. Just ask WPG. All right. Now, the next one is about paying in coins. We already talked about that one. All right. Parrots. If you own a parrot in Oak Bay, I don't know where that is, probably BC, you could get fined $100 if it talks too loudly. It makes you wonder whose parrot was too loud to stir up drama with the law. Oh, geez. Okay. Short snowmen are in. If you think the weird laws in Canada have a limit, think again. Because once winter rolls around, you have to remember that there's an actual law saying you can't have a snowman that is higher than 30 inches. What? There was even a law against throwing around snow, but it seems to be taken less seriously as police would just be arresting 8-year-olds. Okay. All right. So remember, it's against the law to paint a wooden ladder in Alberta. Well, meanwhile, Ottawa apparently has something against the color purple, since it is illegal to paint your house and garage doors in purple. If you live in Beaconsfield, Quebec, I know exactly where that is. Someone may actually sue you for painting your house more than 2 colors. Wow. And you thought the HOA was bad. Oshawa has a law that bans climbing trees. Local law states no person shall interfere with a tree or part of a tree. Yada yada yada. Okay. Number 8, on Sundays we don't eat ice cream. It is illegal to eat ice cream on Bank Street in Ottawa. I know exactly where that is. On Sundays. Any other day is good. Just keep it indoors on Sunday. Yeah, Bank Street is like the longest street in Ottawa. That's funny. All right, it's after 9 o'clock. It's 9:02 p.m. and sitting at about 2 or 3 degrees now. And I'm looking for any check-ins, questions, or comments. This is VA3 CJZ. Please come now.
It's Larry time.
LBI.
Oh, that's so funny. Mac keyed up at the same time as you there, Larry, and he said, it's about Larry time, and you keyed up at the same time. VE3LBI, come on in.
And W.
Yep, thanks, Chuck. Just got off that live stream, so I thought I'd come over here and see what things are up to. I got a bit of a cold tonight. I don't know what's going on. Picked it up probably from the young fella.
Oh, yes, sir. You do sound a little nasally. Stand by 1 second there, Larry. I heard WPG in there. Do you have a comment or something there, Chris?
Yes, I do. I'm just looking at the Petrolia webpage, and apparently, in contrast to their law, every Friday the Royal Canadian Legion has a karaoke night.
Yeah, but that's indoors.
Oh, that law was in public outside?
I do believe so.
Okay, got it. VA3WPG.
Okay, very good. Over to you there, Larry. Yeah, you do sound a little nasally there. How do you feel?
Just a little tired, I guess, from the cold later in the evening and stuff. So I'm expecting a phone call here shortly. So I'll just pass it back over to you and wait for my phone call. I believe I'm supposed to get one very shortly. So, anyways, carry on, Chuck. Thanks for picking me up, and I'll listen along as much as I can.
Okay, very good. By the way, I guess you missed the announcement I made earlier about North End Richard.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, VA3 VJC North End Richard that would check in from his mobile on the handy talkie there. was in the hospital close to death. I got a email from John, VE3JSU, the founder of AREG, saying he got a phone call from Richard's wife, and she said the doctor told her that Richard probably won't make it through the day. It turns out he did, and he should be coming home now. So I got that news on the weekend, and just today when I opened my email, John emailed me again to tell me that John was okay, and so I got a phone number I can call him tomorrow.
Well, you know what they say, you can't kill old hammies.
Yeah. You know, when a doctor tells your wife, say your goodbyes and then you live through it, that's, yeah, so good. That's very good news.
Well, it was 5 years ago today I was in doing my radiation treatment, so and I'm still around so far.
Yeah. Let's hope that stays clear from you there for the rest of your time here. Thanks, Larry. Anything else?
No, sir. I'll listen along as long as I can. Like I said, I'm expecting a phone call, so I'll pick that up. All right. Everybody on net there, if I don't get back in, I'll say 7-3 for now, but I'm going to listen along as much as I can, Chuck.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Larry. By the way, you're check-in number 17 tonight. We're looking for number 18. Anybody out there wishing to check into our net, please come now. This is VA3CJZ. Okay, nothing heard. Let me go back to this other screen here. And now I can go back to starting on this day. Let's do that. I think. Hang on though. I think I may have some trivia, a little bit of trivia before we start. All right. What breed of cat doesn't have fur? This isn't multiple answer. It's up to you guys to guess.
Well, I think it's a Sphinx cat. Is it not a Sphinx? VA3WPG.
That's a cat in a blender.
We've all seen those hairless cats. And yes, you're right, Chris, VA3WPG. It is a Sphinx. I never knew the name of them until tonight, or if I did know it, I forgot it. But yeah, that they don't have any fur at all. It's scary looking.
Wrinkly little things.
Yeah, that reminds me when those wrinkly dogs started getting popular. I like Wade's answer on the YouTube stream there, VA3NCA. It's the ugly type of dog or cat. Yes, they are ugly. All right, here. This is the next question here. In a quest to replace rubber, a gentleman by the name of James Wright, WRIGHT, accidentally invented what common toy?
Silly putty.
That is absolutely correct. Can I get a name call or call sign? I mean,
PE3ZJC.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure that was you, but good answer. That is right. Silly putty was accidentally invented while trying to create something that would replace rubber. Very good. Well, I wouldn't know because I don't have any, but anyways, a majority of adults have how many permanent teeth? How many teeth do you get? Well, every adult or a majority of adults usually end up with 32 permanent teeth. I thought it was around 27, 28, 28. I mean, of course, an even number. All right. Which U.S. president is estimated to have the highest IQ? And he's not alive any longer. Which U.S. president was estimated to have the highest IQ? The answer is John Quincy Adams. All right, that's an American history type of a question. But, anyways, what fish is capable of generating an electric charge up to 600 volts?
The electric eel.
Eel. VA3 PG.
Where do you plug those in to charge them up? All right, according to Instacart, what's the most disliked food in America? According to Instacart, what's the most disliked food in America? Anchovies, please. No anchovies on my pizza. That's the food. What country uses approximately 4 billion miles of toilet paper each year?
My wife.
I was wondering who was going to be the first one to crack a joke.
Country?
The country with the most a-holes.
It is country. The question is, what country uses approximately 4 billion miles of toilet paper?
Let's go with China.
Great Britain.
And the answer is China. Mac, you got it right. And the other gentleman with the handy talkie there, you've got a beep. If you could turn that off, please. Thank you. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, which state has the shortest one-way commute to work? What state would have the shortest amount of time to drive to work?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island is my guess as well. VA3 WPG.
Washington, D.C.
Amazingly, it's South Dakota. The foothills of South Dakota. Yeah, did not know that.
And for Mac, DC is not a state; it's a district.
That's right. Very good, Jason.
It's a state of confusion.
All right, on average, which grows faster, fingernails or toenails?
Fingernails.
Yeah, fingernails.
Correct. How many noses does a slug have? How many noses? Apparently, a slug has 4 noses. Nice try, Wade. Which popular condiment was once sold as a medicinal cure for diarrhea? What popular condiment was once sold as a medicinal cure for diarrhea?
Mustard.
Ketchup. Name either of the 2 U.S. states that makes it illegal to get married on a dare. You got 2 choices. Name either of the 2 U.S. states that makes it illegal to get married on a dare.
Utah.
Yeah, that would be a good answer, but yeah, I don't think the Mormons are allowed to do that at all. The answer is Delaware and Colorado. Not even close, but Delaware on the eastern seaboard and Colorado in the northern Rocky area. Wow. Okay, so that'll be it for a little bit of trivia tonight before I start the On This Day in History. Do we have any comments, questions, or anything someone would like to bring up? Or any check-ins for tonight's net? Please come now. This is VA3 CJZ.
VA3WPG.
Yes, sir. VA3WPG. Go ahead.
Just because that annoys me a little bit, I came across one here. August 15th to 17th, Hard Oil Music Festival, presented by Petrolia 150 Committee. Greenwood Park, 5065 Dufferin Avenue, Petrolia, Ontario. All ages, Josh Ross, Tom Cochran, the Sam Roberts Band, and more. So I guess that just happened a couple months ago outside in Petrolia. Anyways, just got to poke some fun at that law. Back to net.
Yeah, well, Chris, it's the same as it's illegal to spit on the sidewalk, but guess how many people do that? And how many people do you know has ever been ticketed for that, right? So, yeah, they bend a little. They're bendy.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, are we ready to start on this day? First, I gotta pull up the the document. Hold on here. Oh, and we're at on this day 196. So in a row. So we'll start with today's famous birthdays, November 27th in history, and we'll start with a gentleman called Anders Celsius, born on this day in 1701. Wow, it's a long time ago. He was a Swedish astronomer who proposed the Celsius temperature scale. Born in Uppsala, Sweden. He died in 1744, aged 43. So you can thank Mr. Anders Celsius. Next, Charles Scott Sherrington with an S, born on this day in 1857, died in 1952. He was a British physiologist who won the Nobel in 1932 for the functions of neurons. Born in London. Neurons are very important. The founder of Panasonic was born on this day in 1894, and his name is Konosuke Matsushita, Japanese industrialist who founded Panasonic. Of course, he was born in the Empire of Japan, passed away in 1989. Wow, he would have been 105. Yeah, crazy. 1894 to 1989. That's 105. And some of those Japanese and Chinese people live long lives. Next, one of the original crime bosses in America, Vito Genovese, born on this day in 1897, just 3 years after the founder of Panasonic. Vito Genovese, Italian-American crime syndicate boss, born in Italy, and he died in 1969. Which brings us to my favorite, and I think Mac and possibly a few others. Bruce Lee was born on this day in 1940. He was a Hong Kong American martial artist and actor. You might remember the movie Enter the Dragon, as well as a few more. He was born in San Francisco, California, and that's how he became an American. His mother was pregnant with him when they were doing a vaudeville act in San Fran, and he was born there. So there you go. By the way, Mac, thanks for sending that text to me. Also born on this day, Jimi Hendrix, born in 1942 on November 27th. He's an American rock guitarist. You might remember Purple Haze, Voodoo Child, The Wind Cries Mary. He was born in Seattle, Washington. Left-handed guitar virtuoso.
Excuse me while I kiss this guy.
Absolutely. All right, we talked about this young lady last week, Betty Weiss, spelled Weiss, born on this day, 1946. She is the American pop singer for the band The Shangri-Las. Remember, leader of the pack, vroom, vroom. Born in Jamaica, Queens, New York City. Boy, we got a ton of good ones. Coming up next, Sheila Copps, Hamilton's own. Sheila Copps was born on this day, 1952. Of course, she's a Canadian politician, and she was Deputy Prime Minister of Canada between 1993 and 1997. Born in Hamilton, Ontario. Next, Bill Nye, the science guy, is turning 69 today. Born in 1955, he's an American TV host and science presenter. Bill Nye, the science guy, and he's also an engineer. He's not a scientist, but I guess he's a self-proclaimed, scientist. Born in Washington, D.C. Born in 1957, Caroline Kennedy, American attorney and diplomat. She's also the daughter of JFK and Jackie Kennedy, born in New York City. And next we've got, on this day, 1962, Davy Boy Smith, one of the British Bulldogs on WWF, born in Lancashire. I think that's Britain. I'm not sure if that's where in the UK, but born in the UK. He died in 2002, 22 years ago already. Wow. All right. Hey, who remembers Urkel on Family Matters? His real name is Jaleel White. He was born in 1976 in Los Angeles, California.
Did I do
that? That's so funny. Oh, that was funny. Thanks. I think that was Chris. All right. And my last entry on Born on This Day in 1994 is Shrek the Sheep, a New Zealand sheep that held the world record for biggest shorn fleece. Born at Bendigo Station, Otago. It died in 2011. So that means it was 11 plus 6. It was 17 years old when it died. All right. Any more questions, comments, or check-ins for this net? Please come now. This is VA3 CJZ. Moving right along, who died today in history? We're going to start with Ada Lovelace. Ada was an English mathematician and was considered the first computer programmer. Mind you, remember, she died in 1852, born in 1815. She was the first computer programmer and writer and daughter of poet Lord Byron. And she dies of uterine cancer at the age of 36. All right, dying on this day in 1887, Frank Dalton, American lawman of the Old West. He was Deputy U.S. Marshal of the Oklahoma Territory, and he was also the brother of the Dalton Gang outlaws. He was killed in the line of duty at the young age of 28. That's back in 1887. In 1893 is Stephen Wilcox passing away. He was an American inventor of steam generators for power stations and ships. His company went on to be Babcock and Wilcox. He dies at the age of 63. So, steam generators for power stations and ships. Very interesting. Next, passing away on this day in 1901, Clement Studebaker. That's right, the American manufacturer of horse drawn vehicles and later made early automobiles. Dies at the age of 70. Next, Babyface Nelson dies in 1934 on this day. He's an American bank robber, excuse me, and gangster who killed more FBI agents than any other criminal. He was shot by the FBI in a shootout at the age of 25. Next, Ross McWhirter died in 1975 on this day. Ross was the English Guinness Book of Records co-founder, and he was assassinated by the IRA at the age of 50. Next, David Carradine's father, John Carradine, died on this day in 1988. He was an American actor, did a lot of movies. Some named here: The Grapes of Wrath, Stagecoach, Howling, and he died of kidney failure at the age of 82. Not bad. And my last entry here is the American animator and cartoonist for SpongeBob SquarePants. Died of ALS syndrome at the age of 51, and that his name is Steven Hillenburg. Born in 1961, he died in 2018. My daughter loved SpongeBob. That's it for famous people dying on this day. Do we have any questions or comments or check-ins? Please come now. All right, let's move on to the next segment, and that is the events. Where are we here? On this day. All right. Oh, I started doing people who passed away this year in 2024, famous people who died in 2024 last week. I did the month of January and February. This week, I've got a couple of entries in for March and April. We'll start off with March 29th of this year, Louis Gossett Jr., American Emmy and Academy Award winning stage and screen actor. He was on Roots. He was in the movie An Officer and a Gentleman and other movies. He dies at the age of 87 this year. Wow. And then April 1st, Joe Flaherty died. Joe Flaherty from SCTV, American Canadian Emmy Award winning screenwriter and actor. Of course, he was on SCTV. He was on Freaks and Geeks. He's the one who played Dracula on the SCTV there. What do you call that? A parody of Dracula. He was pretty funny, Dracula. He was 82 years old, Joe Flaherty. And everyone's favorite Bronco chasing football player, O.J. Simpson, died this year on April 10th. Of course, he's an American College and Pro Football Hall of Fame running back. And that's all I'm going to say about him. And finally, April 18th, Dickie Betts, American rock guitarist and songwriter and singer for the Allman Brothers Band. You might remember the song Ramblin' Man. That was a popular song. And Jessica dies of cancer at the age of 80. And that's it for famous people dying this year. I will follow up with a couple more months next week. Any questions, comments, or check-ins? Please come now. This is VA3 CJZ. By the way, thank you, Brian, for telling me about the language that that old lady who was born in the 1800s had a programming language named after her called Ada, because that was her name. Very good. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. All right, so let's move on to the historical events in this year. I hope it's right. It says in April 2024. That's wrong. Historical events. All right. Now, the year is 1493, a year after Christopher Columbus apparently discovers America, but in fact it was Haiti. Today it's called Haiti. Christopher Columbus returns to La Navidad colony, which again was Haiti now, finding it destroyed by the first Native American uprising against Spanish rule. They attacked the settlement after the brutal treatment they received from the garrison who disobeyed Columbus's orders. Now, you'll have to remember that before Europeans came here, it was all, and Africans for that matter, because a lot of them were slaves that were dropped off on islands to colonize as well. And a lot of native Indians occupied these lands. I'm sure the Bahamas had native Indians and all those other islands. And yeah, so, anyways, this was one of them that didn't go over very well. Let's jump to the year 1807. The Portuguese royal family and its court of nearly 15,000 people leave Lisbon for their colony of Brazil to escape invading Napoleonic troops. So Napoleon was moving into Portugal, and so they all went to Brazil. All right, in 1826, John Walker invents the friction match in England. So the match that we use today, that we strike on something, invented in 1826. He was a chemist and inventor, John Walker, not to be mixed up with the other Johnny Walker who, made booze. All right, let's jump to 1885. On this day, we have the first photograph of a meteor taken by Austro-Hungarian photographer Ladislaus Weinik in Prague, the Austrian-Hungarian Empire. First photograph of a meteor, 1885. Wonder what that looked like. All right, next, let's go to 1889. We have the first permit issued to drive a car through Central Park. Now, those of you who don't know, it's a park. There's no roads. So it is not permitted to drive through Central Park, but in 1889, they gave a permit to do so. Now, remember, Central Park was a muddy bog swamp before what it is today. Next, 1890, a year later, the first signal box for San Francisco Police Department goes into operation. Now, I tried to get more info on this. A signal box is linked up to the police department, right? So there isn't much information about the first signal box for the San Francisco Police Department, but here's some information about police boxes and the SFPD. Police boxes were once a common sight in England, where they served as call boxes for the police and the public to contact the police station. In Japan, small police stations called koban, Koban, are located on street corners and serve as a base for community patrols. Now, when I was a kid, they used to have fire alarms uh, either attached to a little thing on a pole, and you would pull on it, and it would sound the alarm. The wire would go down through the ground. Some of them were attached to telephone poles, but they were red, and I don't know if I don't remember if you had to break glass or not. But anyways, you activated that, and the alarm would go off at the firehouse, and they would come to the general area where the light would shine at the station, showing let's say Barton and Ottawa area, for example. So yeah, that's how those work. Same thing with the signal boxes. A cop could also pick up the phone, call the station, and say, I need backup or whatever. And so, yeah, before cell phones and two-way radios. All right, Nobel Prizes are established. In 1895, a Swedish chemist, Alfred Nobel's will establishes the Nobel Prize. So in his will, he wanted to have a Nobel Prize or something for different areas of science and whatnot. Peace, there's a Nobel Peace Prize, there's Nobel for Science, 1895. All right, who knew this? In 1910, New York's Penn Station opens as the world's largest railway terminal. So I don't know if they changed that to Grand Central Station, but Penn Station in New York was the world's largest railway terminal. I just looked on the YouTube stream there. It looks like we were disconnected, and it looks like we were reconnected here. I don't know if the chat still works. I hope so. Is the stream still working? I wonder. Oh, Brian is testing. Okay, we're back up and running. Very good. That's very odd to lose connection. That's the first time that's ever happened. All right, very good. 1920, we have the first American superhero film. In 1920, The Mark of Zorro, directed by Fred Niblo and starring Douglas Fairbanks, is released in New York. By the way, it was a silent film. 1920. And I don't know if you people knew this, but a few days ago they had the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which turned 100 years old. Oh, I have the date here, November 24th. So 3 days ago on the weekend, celebrating 100 years for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. In 1934, bank robber Babyface Nelson and 2 FBI agents die in a shootout in Barrington, Illinois. Babyface Nelson. They don't have his real name. Frank Sinatra, arrested. In 1938, Bergen County, that's New Jersey, Sheriff's Department arrests American singer Frank Sinatra. He was 23 years old at the time, on the charge of seduction. Later withdrawn and amended to adultery. And shortly thereafter, the case was dismissed. You know, there's a lot of rumors that Frank Sinatra was in with the mob. They may have paid off a judge or somebody. But very interesting. No, we'll just dismiss it. And in 1945, on this day, November 27th, Dutch resistance fighter Hannie, Hannie, so it's like Annie but with an H, Shaft with a C, SCHAFT, Hannie Shaft, is reburied in the presence of Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands. She must have been some resistance fighter. In 1957, the United States Army withdraws from Little Rock, Arkansas, after the Central High School integration. They had students protesting. Well, a lot of people were protesting the integration of black kids into their school. They don't call them rednecks for nothing. Little Rock, Arkansas. Oh, here's a good one. On this day in 1960, Gordie Howe becomes the first NHLer to score 1,000 points. Now, now that's amazing, because my next story is a year later to the day. In 1961, Gordie Howe becomes the first to play in 1,000 NHL games. So it took him a full year to reach 1,000 games, but he had already gotten 1,000 points. Eh? And he was a great player. And then on this day in 1965, up to 25,000 people demonstrate against the war in Vietnam in Washington, D.C. All right, Jimi Hendrix in 1967 headlines a bill supporting acts include The Move and Pink Floyd for 2 shows at Whitla Hall, Queen's College in Belfast, his only concerts in Ireland back in 1967. Also, on the same day in 1967, the Beatles released their album Magical Mystery Tour in the United States. It's issued as a double EP extended play in the UK in December. And then 3 years later, in 1970, Apple Records releases George Harrison's triple album set, All Things Must Pass. It becomes the best-selling solo release for any of the Beatles, going platinum 6 times over. In 1971, on this day, November 27th, Soviet Mars 2 becomes the first spacecraft to crash land on Mars. And next, I'm sad to say, on this day in 1972, November 27th, Pierre Trudeau forms Canadian government. Hang on while I take a moment.
All downhill from there.
Oh dear, I think I need a cigarette. Okay, moving along. We jump to the year 2000, and Norway opens the world's longest road tunnel, the Lærdal Tunnel, linking Oslo and Bergen at 15.3 miles. That's for Larry. For the rest of us, that's 24.6 kilometers. And then a year later, in 2001, a hydrogen atmosphere is discovered on an extrasolar planet, Osiris, by the Hubble Space Telescope. The first atmosphere detected on an extrasolar planet. Sounds promising, but extrasolar means a light year away, I guess, or more. You know what a light year is, right? The time it takes for light to travel 1 year. You know how fast light travels at, right? What is it, 300 million miles an hour? All right, we have the first partial face transplant in 2005, and it's completed for Isabelle Dinoir in Amiens, France. Did not know that.
She must have been really ugly.
Yeah. Thanks, Brian. He just did his test. 10 times 3 times 10 to the 8th power meters per second. Good one, Brian. Okay, some more sad news. In 2006, a lot of people don't know this, but in 2006, Canadian House of Commons endorses Prime Minister Stephen Harper's motion to declare Quebec a nation within a unified Canada. So, for those who don't know, Quebec is, in theory, in fact, separate from Canada, but still part of Canada. So they get special little things that the rest of Canada does not. Quebec is a nation within a unified Canada. Think about that. They didn't get their referendum, but that's the damn close. All right, let's not get tied up into that. Next, in 2015, they find the holy grail of shipwrecks called the San Jose, and it sank over 300 years ago in 1708, and it's found by an international team off the coast of Colombia. So I'm guessing this is a intact shipwreck. The Holy Grail, they call it. All right, my next one is in 2017, but I got to save this for my last one. I usually like to end on a funny or cute note, so let's skip this one and go to 2017, the second story. Freight trains kill more than 100 reindeer over 3 days in Norway. Wow. 100 reindeer killed by freight trains in Norway. Wow. 2017.
Where was Rudolph?
He must have been on the other freight train. All right. Another story in 2017. A North Korean ghost ship washes up in Akita Prefecture Beach, Japan, with 8 skeletons on board. And that's the 4th boat in a month. A ghost ship. Interesting. Have you guys heard about that? They disappear for years and then show up. All right, second last one. In 2022, Mauna Loa, the world's largest active volcano, erupts for the first time in nearly 40 years on the Hawaii island. 22 years ago. Remember that? All right, finally. This happened in 2017, though. 8 donkeys are freed from jail after 4 days in Orai, Uttar Pradesh, India, for, get this, eating plants. They put 8 donkeys in jail for 4 days until they were freed. Well, that's it for On This Day in History. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did researching it and telling it all back to you fine folks. So with that, again, do we have any questions, comments, or check-ins for this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3 CJZ. All right, let's go to the top of the list. I doubt Pierre will still be with us. VE3 BMO, are you there? Yes, that's right, Wade. I guess the donkeys learned their lesson and they were contrite. No more eating plants. Because pretty sure they're like goats. They eat anything. All right, let's try Richard. Uh, Southside Rick, VA3AXJ.
Yeah, still here. Eyes are real heavy now. So this would be 7.3s. The A3AXJ. I'm going to be clear. 7.3s all. Good net there, Chuck. Thanks for doing it. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.
All right, Rick. Thanks for hanging in there. Hope you feel better tomorrow. We'll talk to you again soon. How about Vern, VA3CRF? You still around? Albert, VA3 Bravo Tango.
Yeah, still here listening along there. Good net there, Chuck. Thanks for doing it. Thanks for being there. And 7-3 to all, VA3BT.
Okay, Albert. Thanks again. Take care, my friend. Remember, 2 more sleeps, my friend. Take care. Next, let's see if Walt is still with us. VE3 Fox Hotel Echo. All right. Maybe he's listening on the YouTube stream. Who knows? Let's try Mac, VA3IMW.
All right, Charles in charge. Very good net as usual. And Albert almost got there. And to all a good night.
That's right. And it's supposed to be around 0 degrees, but my front porch is reading 2 to 3 degrees. So we're not yet at freezing here. And by the way, we had a check-in from Argentina tonight. Omar checked in on YouTube. Thank you very much, Omar. His call sign is Lima Whiskey 8 Delta Papa Lima from Argentina. Muchas gracias, Omar. Let's see if Jason is still on the crossband. VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie. Who's winning the game?
Not the team I want. Thanks for running the net, Chuck. It was fantastic, and Crossband is definitely helping me here get in for the trivia side of things. Do appreciate it, sir. 7-3s to you and everybody else on that. VE3 is JC back to that control.
Oh, just one question, Jason, before you go. What radio is it that's doing the crossband?
That would be my IC 2730A.
Oh, it has that capability. Oh, right on. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you, Jason. So there you go, folks. If you want a crossband radio, get the ICOM. What is it again?
It's the 2730A. The crossband's not enabled by default. There's some four-finger magic you need to run when powering it up to turn it on, but once it's running, it works perfectly.
Yes, they usually require you to push all the buttons with all the fingers you have, and you have to stand on one leg, and then the crossband comes on. It's like that on a lot of radios, Jason. They're different methods, but similar. Okay, Jason, thank you so much, sir. Have a great rest of the evening. Let's check in on WPG. Are you still by the radio? VA3 WPG.
Hey, yeah, VA3 WPG still kicking here. 73. Have a good one to everybody except the local town council of Petrolia that makes the local laws and ordinances for the town. Other than that, we'll catch you all on the next one. Have a good one, everyone. VA3 WPG.
That's funny because there's a guy from there, Petrolia, that checks in on Rick's Net on Monday nights. We'll have to ask him about that. Thanks, Chris. Much appreciated. Let's go to Wade, Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha.
VA3 CJZ, VA3 MCA. Just had to find the mic there. I wasn't paying attention, but I heard you call out my name. Thanks as always for another great way to spend a Wednesday there, Chuck. and looking forward to the next one for you and everybody on net. 7-3. Back to you.
Okay, Wade, thanks for your check-in. Hope you enjoyed the net as well as chatting on the stream. It was fairly active tonight, so that was nice. And asking for people to click the like button. I've never asked anyone to do that, but thank you. It certainly helps. And so we'll clear with you and see if Tomas is still in there. VE3 Charlie Echo uniform. VA3 NFG. Steve on the portable. You still around?
Yes, sir, Chuck. I should be doing at least 10 over 9. I don't know. He said I was hitting you at 20. I'm in the same exact spot. Anyway, that was a good net, Chuck. What's the total check-ins now?
Total check-ins for tonight, 17. 17 unless anybody checks in at the last minute.
Yeah, okay, roger that. Yeah, I was, I don't know, I had 20 check-ins in my mind. I had a feeling we were going to hit 20, but you never know. There's still, what time is it? There's still 4 minutes to go. You never know what can happen in 4 minutes. Anyway, good net there, Chuck, as always, and we'll remember to tune in next Wednesday for sure. So, yeah, awesome. Good job, bud. Have a good night, and 73 to all. VA3 NFG.
VA3
BK. There we go. Number 18. VE3 BK. Rick, come on in.
Yeah, never too late. Never too late. You never know what's going to happen in the last 4 minutes, right? Anyway, yeah, you were saying something about somebody that checked in on Monday night. What was that about?
Oh, we were talking about dumb laws in Canada, and one came up from Petrolia, Ontario. You get I forget who it is that checks in on your net. He's from Petrolia.
Yeah, VE3WIG. That's Bill and Petrolia.
Oh yeah, they have a no whistling law there in public.
Okay, what was that again? In public?
There is no whistling or singing allowed in Petrolia, Ontario, in public.
Whoa, I didn't know that. We'll have to ask Bill next time he talks to us.
Yeah, well, that was under the category of dumb laws there, Rick. So you may not know about that, but it'd be good to give him a warning. Be sure not to whistle or sing while out in public in Petrolia, Ontario.
Well, that's probably one of them laws that they ignore now. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, sorry for being late here, but anyway, better late than never. So, yeah, anyway, I hope the net was good, and 7-3 to everybody that's out there.
Okay, Rick. Yeah, we had a great net. A lot of famous people had birthdays today, and a lot of neat, interesting, fun facts. So, yeah, I had a blast. And so thanks for your check-in, Rick. And before I forget, tomorrow night, we will be joining Mac as the net controller for the Lake Ontario Radio Club Simplex Net tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on 446.125. So write that down, Rick. 446.125 Simplex at 7 o'clock. Drop in and say hi to Mac and the rest of the gang. And then, of course, my last person on my list is Larry, VE3LBI. Be sure to join Larry on Friday on the VE3 ZOE repeater on the frequency of 443.075 at 8 o'clock. All you, no tone is required, just a positive offset. make sure the positive is on. And so with that, let's go to Larry, see if he's there or he's on his phone call. VE3 LBI.
Yep, we're still here, Chuck. Just getting ready to take the dog out, I think, and get it into bed. So a little weary tonight. This cold got me dragged down a bit.
Yeah, I find that's what happens with me there every time. So yeah, get plenty of rest there, Larry, and that will help.
Yep, okay. Thanks for doing it, Chuck. Appreciate it. And yeah, the phone call wasn't too long, so I've actually been listening for quite a while. Anyways, okay, 7-3. Have a great night. The E3 LBI clear.
All right, very good, Larry. Thank you so much. And I'd also like to give a shout out to everyone who listened and checked in on the YouTube stream. What are the call signs here? We've got, Noel, VE3 Kilo Delta Tango. I never did call on Noel. I don't think. He might be off. Noel, are you still there?
VE3 or VA3 CJZ VE3 KDT. Yeah, I'm still here. Having a good night. Everything. Thanks for doing the net and 7-3s to everyone. I'll be clear.
All right, very good. I must have skipped over you there or didn't wait long enough for your reply the last time. But thank you, Noel, for your check-in as well as checking into the YouTube stream. And with that, we also have Brian, our newly licensed ham. I think he's in Oakville. VE3XBW. That's a neat call. X-Ray Bravo Whiskey. Thank you, Brian. And then we had Omar from Argentina. Lima Whiskey 8 Delta Papa Lima. Thank you, Omar. And Wade, of course, checked into the YouTube stream, VA3NCA. Jeff also checked in, VE3NVY. Let me make sure I've got you on the list here. Yep, you're in there. And I'm sorry if I missed anybody, but I'll check, double check after. It's 10:02 p.m. Let's see, are there any stragglers out there that would like to check in quickly to our AREG net? This is VA3 CJZ. Please come now.
And Thomas from Oakville.
Tomas, VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. Tom, are you there? Well, I don't hear him, and he usually is not around for the last round there, Mac. But thank you for mentioning that. All right. Well, that looks like it's a wrap. And so a total tonight I have is 18 check-ins. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining me on the weekly AREG net. And we're here every week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Remember, be kind to one another and be safe. This is VA3 CJZ saying so long for now. Cheers.